Here you go, we're on. What? What? You're doing that on your phone? Yes, I am. All right, no, guys, not now. How come I don't? Oh. Freedom for All Friday, and that is not a political statement.
No,
it's not.
it's just a human statement.
Yeah.
Remy, come on, Remy.
Oh, guess the whole family's here. Yay!
Hey, puppies.
Okay, so
yeah.
we ready?
Happy Friday, children.
Happy
of the
Friday,
lawn.
children of the lawn.
And here comes the women's of the lawn.
I can change instruments, I think.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of crap in this thing.
Well, you got a B3 in there?
I got a metronome that I don't know how to turn off. All right, wait a minute. No, there's more. Keyboard. Okay, hang on. Oh, let's see. Do I have a B3? I don't know. I'm not thinking I do.
Gail, just getting in. She had a very bad storm up there.
That's not fun.
No.
I have a xylophone. Would that work for you? Have to be an octave higher. That's not an octave higher. Ding dong. Anytime.
I don't know why he's doing this.
I don't either. I don't know why he does half the things he does.
I don't either.
Well, if you don't know by now, it's too late to start trying to figure it out.
You're changing.
I'm morphing, is what's happening.
You're morphing, all right.
I'm morphing out here. Am I morphing?
I'm afraid.
You should be afraid.
He's morphing.
You sleep next to it.
I'm not afraid of that. When you're out, you're out.
Yeah.
It's when you're awake.
I
It's
just,
scary.
you know what?
It's when you're alive and awake that it's scary.
Okay. So that noise in the middle of the night, that's not that. That's not scary.
You have your apnea.
I have my
thing.
I have my freaking oxygen tank.
CPAP. And it's been helping.
I got the Michael Jackson signature oxygen tent. Nice. It's freaking nice. Big enough. Big enough for me and a chimp, I was going to say. Oh, it's Friday. I can't wait. Battle bots tonight. Oh, murders in the building. Only murders in the building. Got that covered.
Menopause. That's a good one, Sue.
Oh, that's an old.
I
Yeah.
think he's gone through menopause already.
I've been through. I went through menopause when I was like 40.
Yeah.
Menopause.
Menopause.
What is that? You get like yours? Oh, you mean you turn into an absolute fantastic person?
I think it's like a midlife crisis.
Menopause?
Menopause.
When did I have my midlife crisis?
Probably when you bought the Aston Martin.
That was a midlife crisis buy, you think?
Yeah, could be. Could have been. Could have been.
I wasn't thinking of it that way.
Of course not.
Well, you mean I don't know. Come on, that's not like the kind of car that I drove around for people to look at me in. We used to take it out on Sunday and go 100 miles an hour on the back roads.
Yeah.
And I lent it to Bern Davis for the James Bond thing.
That's right. had a James Bond themed party, and they needed a couple of.
They need a couple of Aston Martins, so they borrowed mine and another guy's that they worked on.
Oh, speaking of James Bond.
What?
Anybody see the latest James Bond movie?
What a piece of shoe leather.
Man, we were waiting for years for that thing, and then.
If I had paid for that, I would have been pissed. I got to tell you.
Yes.
I love Daniel Craig. I think he's the best
Yep.
James Bond.
I think I like him the best, but it was horrible.
And that's where my Aston thing started in '64 with the DB5 and Sean Connery. I always wanted one, and I didn't even know where you got them.
Well, I said to Steve, I don't understand this. It's almost like he can't act. And Steve said, that's the director.
Yeah, it's absolutely the director. He's the one who says what gets printed.
Yeah.
And
He
then
was
it's
a
down
bad
to
director.
Then it's down to the editor to say what gets used. So if you have 5 takes of crap, you
It
know,
was crap. Man.
it just was not.
It was
I don't know,
not
and I
James
really
Bond.
don't know. It just was not Bondish for me.
No, it was not. It was not good.
In fact, there was more bondage in 50 Shades of Grey. Wait a minute.
I would think.
Anyway, and they had the DB5, which was the original James Bond car, and he did the coolest thing. If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert if you don't want to know what happens. But when he drops those machine guns in the front turn signals and starts doing donuts and shooting everybody, he's surrounded by guys and he's doing donuts and shooting people with the machine guns.
It's kind of like Walter White.
Kind of like Walter White, only with an Aston Martin.
Yeah, instead of
Walter White drove a Saturn or something. What did he drive?
he
A
drove
Pontiac
something
Sunfire or
weird.
something.
Yeah, something of
In the
we've
worst
seen
color green
One
ever.
of them that was that color in town.
What?
We've seen.
But yeah, the one that.
Yeah, that's not a very popular car.
No, it's not a very popular color either.
No.
Oh well. And we finished Saul. Better Call Saul. I don't know if you go for that, but and I won't. There's nothing to really spoiler alert of it. It's the weirdest.
Yeah, we finished that.
Yeah, we finished that.
Oh, Kitty says, hey, we have some emptying chairs. Yes, we do.
What do we have?
Some emptying chairs. Some
Emptying.
people. Anton Jutner's not here. Tim McCullen's not here.
Well.
Chanel's not here. Conrad Phillip hasn't been here in months.
Well, somebody needs to send her a letter.
I think we need to reassign chairs.
Well, if that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the way it goes.
And Pat Romano, where are you? You're out of jail. Uh-huh.
He's probably going to see Stevie Nicks and Larry Carlton at the Rising Sun.
What? Who's Larry Carlton?
Who's Larry Carlton?
I knew a guy named Larry Carlton.
Yeah, did he play with Stevie Nicks?
Wow.
Okay. Anyway,
Who is Larry Carlton?
he's a musician.
Really?
Somebody not from your, not a pop musician. No pop.
I really went to school with a guy named Larry Carlton.
Well, if it was the same guy, he did pretty good. Do you think it was the same
Stevie
guy?
Nicks did not play the Rising Sun.
Wait a minute. Have I been backhandedly dissed? Wow. Stevie Nicks would not play the Rising Sun? Why? Because she doesn't like the fact that they wash the drink stirs and reuse them?
Oh, man. When the waitress told me that was like...
Chrissy. Oh, it was Chrissy told you
Chrissy.
that, right?
Yeah. She told me that years after. She said, oh, the Rising Sun, they used to make us rewash the drink straws and reuse them.
And they had a soubrette hot dog
That
cart
stunk.
that these hot dogs must have been old enough to vote.
I never got a hot dog from there. It stunk. No
And I
wonder
had
Garcia
the
threw up.
greatest parking spot in the world. Right across the street from the Rising Sun was a bank. And I don't remember whether I worked it out with the cops, but I used to park right there. Nobody could park anywhere near my car.
Like down this, like across the street, but down a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's where Chrissy parked because we all went out.
Right, because she went in the bank parking. I was in the whatever it was.
Oh, wait. Gail's got an excuse for Pat. He was on vacation last week. That's right, last week.
Wow. So what does that mean?
What does that mean?
His phone doesn't work anymore? I think we're going to have to start some kind of a fine system, some kind of penalty
I think we
system.
get rid of their chairs.
Wow.
They all seem to like their
You
chairs.
talking about menopause, guys?
we put nails on their chair.
Wow, man. You're cold tonight. And deep, too.
Cold as ice. Willing
So
to
let's
sacrifice our love.
Are you?
It's a song, Steve.
I know what it is. Ooh. Okay, so let's see.
Vacation last week. We
Wow.
saw the pictures of him and the giant lobsters, and the pictures of him and the other stuff in Massachusetts.
Right, and they obviously they don't have cell service up there.
That's right.
You know.
No.
I mean, how hard is it to drop in, Pat? Really?
Well, he sent you enough DMs.
Yeah, I know.
Last week on vacation.
Oh, here we now. I'm sorry. I'm playing it. Guess who's coming?
Oh, I think that Booker King.
Oh, yes. You got your own music.
Booker's music. Booker.
Where'd Mousy go? She was just here, and now she's gone.
She wasn't in here. Was she in that room?
I saw her, and yeah.
Because she was in this room too. And so
Booker!
How are you? I'm sorry I missed Remy's birthday party.
Oh, that's okay. You know, it was quite a festival of enjoyment.
We had
Yeah.
He's still celebrating. He was celebrating at 5:30 this morning.
He was. He was. Squeaking his toy next to the bed.
Yeah. At 5:30.
At 5:30 this morning. Wow.
Now, of course, I didn't hear it because those frequencies no longer make it to my side. But Lori, on the other hand,
I hear it all.
yeah, she hears it all. Hey, Mouse, how are
Hey,
you?
how are
How
you?
are you, Mousy?
Hi, how you doing, Booker? We missed you.
Yeah.
How'd it go? You're just like having a great time or what?
No, I'm always now these days I'm working. I'm doing something. So
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
yeah.
Can't
That's-
complain. Not after
Yeah.
2 years of doing nothing.
I know what you mean. Yesterday I had a nightmare of a sound check at UC Pack in Rahway, where when the singers were supposed to come out to do their sound check, they were still trying to figure out how our packs were going to work for our in-ears,
Oh,
the crew.
Oh.
And we were up there, because yesterday was hot.
yeah.
So they didn't bring us any water, and we've been up there for 2 hours. And I finally just blew
2 hours?
Yeah, and I
Oh,
finally
no.
blew my- yeah,
No.
I lost my mind, and
Yeah,
then,
I would too.
yeah, and then the leader of the guy who books them, the contractor, came up and said, "Okay, I'm taking over." And finally, the sound check was okay, but it took until somebody else came up there to do it.
What was the issue? They weren't used to working with like whatever gear you usually use, or was this their
It was.
stuff? Or?
It was just, I don't want to say what I really think.
Okay. So a bunch of people who really don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they're standing there pretending that they do.
I'll go with that.
Okay.
And I think he's being generous.
Lenny,
I've been there. I've seen it,
Yeah.
Is Lenny wearing an ascot?
Yeah, Lenny's wearing an ascot.
Lenny, you look so dashing.
Yeah, I pulled this out of a drawer like yesterday, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to get jazzed up for the show." And then you guys start talking about James Bond. I said, "Hey, that's perfect."
Yeah.
It is perfect.
You look fabulous.
It really.
Thank you, honey.
You're doing a good like Marty Stewart imitation.
He's a
Oh, yeah.
No.
009. Yeah, that's Lenny. 009.
What did Jeff
Uh,
Bogine used to say? A double knot spy?
Double
knot
Double knot.
spy.
Yeah, double knot. I was thinking maybe Alistair Cook.
Oh, okay. I get
That's
that.
good. That's good.
You get that one, right?
Yeah.
Masterpiece Theater.
Thank you.
Very nice, Lenny.
I think this is. I think the.
You look like you went to the beach.
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm indoors today, so I don't have my usual production.
You look like somebody colored you in.
Wait, what is your usual production?
We can see and hear him.
A couple of
The
Fernando.
crickets and the frogs and
Yeah,
everything.
the crickets, the frogs. I got a big,
The
gigantic
whistling in the
white
background,
chandelier
the
up top.
wind.
Yeah, yeah.
A couple of Fresnels, a par, a couple of pars.
How is everybody?
We don't know.
That was good.
How is
So
it?
far, we're still here live. Lenny, I met someone at my nephew's graduation party last week who was so blown away by the fact that I know you. He was so excited. So he apparently was a big fan of the Rats back in the day. And he's like, you know him? How do I? Oh my God, I want to watch this show. How could I get in touch with him? So this guy obviously was like hardcore, like, like a rat head, like a deadhead. So,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
but
Well, I'll tell you what. I think that I got a friend invite from you.
oh, you did, because my Facebook went away and I had to rebuild it. So that
Yeah,
is
and
me.
for some reason it showed up on Gabrielle's phone or feed. So what I'll do is that I'll give my email to Steve and he'll give it to you. And then we
Okay.
can be friends.
Oh, that would be
and
cool.
then I can give some kind of platform number or something to your friend who's the crazy rat
Oh
guy.
my God, he was beside himself.
Oh, we'll-
Himself. He was
We'll
just-
talk to each other.
And it was a strange party because it was my godson, my nephew, Michael, who just graduated from Berkeley. And he couldn't walk because he had COVID. So he didn't even get to graduate. So my brother had a big party for him at Verona. And my sister-in-law, although I adore her as a human being, she is not, as we would say, my mom would say, she's kind of bookish, meaning she has like no domestic qualities whatsoever, and always has her nose in a book. So wasn't, a very social person. So I, being the me that I am, I said to them, well, what are you having for food? How many people you're having? And they said, like 40 people. I said, well, what are you serving? And they said, we're going to make sandwiches. That's it. I said, no. I said, so I got off the cardiac cath table, came home the next day, cooked like eggplant, rollatini, sausage and peppers, pasta with tomato and basil sauce, big thing of macaroni salad, like all this food, sent it over with the husband like an hour ahead of time. I get there and I said to them, she's like, well, should we start serving the food? And I came a little bit later figuring they should have this at this point. And I'm like, where's the food? And she's like, well, it's in the oven. I said, well, is the oven on? Oh, I didn't know. Like, I just thought it would stay warm in the oven. So now I have like sterno trays and I kick into like production manager. I'm like, you get me some water. You get those sterno trays. I'm going berserk. Okay. Doing the whole thing. And there was a bunch of music people there, his music teachers from high school and people he had played in with bands and people he had done jams with, so he was, he actually played with Godfrey's band at BB King's for Eric Clapton's birthday, my nephew. He's like 13 at the time. Little guy, okay? He was a little guitar whiz. So at one point, some guy comes up to me and he says to me, oh, you're Mousy, you're Mike's sister? And I said, yeah. And he goes, do you have a card? So I said, I don't really have a card with me. I said, but you can always get in touch with me through the thing. And he goes, great, because we're having a party in December. I'm like, I'm not a fucking caterer, bro. I thought he wanted me to like do sound production for his band or something.
Yeah, right. What did they call the catering in the movies?
What do they call catering in the movies?
Yeah, they
Craft services.
Yeah.
Oh,
craft services.
Yeah.
I think, you must
Exactly.
be craft services.
Yeah, right. But, I'm waiting for him to say, yeah, we got this band going on and we have some shows coming up and we're looking for, he's like, oh, because we have a big party coming up in December. I'm like, I'm not a caterer. He goes,
No.
would you consider doing that? I said, no, I don't want to do anything with anyone at this point. No, I'm not coming to your COVID party.
Well,
But
you must be a pretty good cook.
Yeah.
yeah, I am a good cook because it is what my cousin Judith used to call TOD. That is the only daughter. So it was me and three brothers. They had to do nothing, and I had to learn to cook. They would be out off like a prom dress every Saturday morning, out to play, and my mom would be like, "Oh no, we have to do this, and you have to come food shopping with me." So yeah, that was my lot in life. So yeah,
Well,
I'm a great cook actually.
yeah,
And, I go to Italy and take cooking lessons, and friend of mine from France always gives me lessons and things. I like to cook, not on command though.
Not on command.
Yeah, I don't cook on command.
COC.
Do you cook at a regular time of the day?
No, I cook it all out. Generally, I start kicking into high gear sometime around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And then people will come down the next morning and they'll be like, where did all these cookies come from? Why are we having, lasagna for 15 people? And I'm like, I just got in the mood and had to do something. So
Nice.
Just saw the Lasagna Friends episode
Yes. Where
she makes
Monica's
15 trays of.
oh,
Yeah. For vegetarians.
Yeah.
They had meat in them.
Look at the little star behind Lenny's head.
Yeah, that's a.
Oh yeah. That's
Oh,
the
what's
thing.
going on?
you're like a saint.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. Saint Lenny.
It's a ceiling fan, but it has a light in it, so it looks
It
like
Saint
does.
Leonardo.
That's
Man, dazzling, bro.
my dear. Could you turn off the fan, please?
No,
No, I love it.
No,
Oh, wait. They're saying don't do it.
no, don't do it, Tinkerbell, please.
I feel like
Really nice touch. If anybody comes in and sees that, they're going to think, whoa,
it's him.
where did he say he was again? Ah,
With his ascot.
Neverland.
He's on his yacht.
Okay, I'll leave it on for a while.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, it's
the
nice.
spirit in a Christmas Carol that has the flame over their head, and then he's
Yeah.
like, as it grows shorter, he has to leave. That's funny.
Well, I just had supper. That was the Last Supper, I think. but
That was your last supper.
yeah, but wasn't it just
Well, the
after
next
the
one.
Last Supper when all the apostles had
Yeah.
flames
Yeah.
coming from their heads and stuff? Well, that's what I'm trying to recreate.
No, you got the Holy
You're
Spirit going,
doing a
bro.
fine job.
So, Book, what was your gig last week? I mean, was that the one in Rahway?
Yeah, well, yesterday. Yeah, it was last
Oh,
night.
yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, that was wow. It was a joint show with this thing. It was a group called the Company Men. They're from LA, and I've been working with them for the last 12 years or something like that, off and on. And one of the guys was he played Simba in The Lion King on Broadway for a couple of years. So he does it.
Kalani?
No.
Kalani Remy?
His name-
Oh, because that's who's doing it now.
Yeah, his name is Teron Brooks, and he
Okay.
was actually Eddie Kendricks in the Temptations movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he does a thing called The Soul of Broadway, where they reimagine Broadway material, and the Company Men do mashups. So every song is 4 songs. So, and I'm reading the entire show.
Wow.
So between the
Ooh.
two shows, there were 24 charts.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I put them, I load them all into my iPad.
Right.
And I have a page turner thing. That is the best thing ever invented, because when I first started playing with them,
Oh, the
I had
jerks are intense.
I had this pile of charts and 2 music stands put together, and
Right.
2, and I would, and if we played outside, it was a night.
Oh man.
So how does it know when you get to the end of the chart? Like, how do you turn the page?
Oh, what you mean to the next chart?
Yeah.
Oh, in the app that I put it in,
Uh-huh.
you put it into set lists, and it'll just go from song to song.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and the page turner, you just hit the page turner, and it turns the page for you. And there are in the set list, there are stop pages, or there are red pages that say stop. So you
Right.
get there, and that's where they talk and they do live dialogue. But the funniest thing about using an iPad on stage is that when it's on a mic stand in front of you, nobody thinks you're reading music. It's really funny. They
That's
don't
amazing.
be reading music.
Well, how about I know guys that use them as teleprompters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's for me, if I have to do a song I haven't done in a long time, and I don't want to look for the whole lyrics, I'll just put the first couple of words of each line on the thing, so that I love that thing. I think it's an incredible. The iPads are just
Do you know what
Yeah.
happens when I mix on an iPad at an outdoor show in the evening?
what?
moths keep landing on it.
It's the light. Yeah.
Really, I'm like, wait a minute, what's on the spader? You know, they just land, and then you're like knocking them off, and then all of a sudden the guitar's like, whoa! Yeah.
What, in New Jersey, you guys have those lantern bugs all
Those
over the place?
red-spotted lantern flies. They're
Yeah,
like they tell people to kill them.
We
Yeah.
just saw
And
that
they
today.
they swarmed in Jersey City, where my husband works. They swarmed, and they showed it on the news. I mean, they're the reason they come is because there are certain trees that are not to this area, that people have planted trees. Same thing they did in Arizona. You know, everybody used to move to Arizona because if you had bad allergies and things, you moved to Arizona. Then everybody who moved to Arizona started planting shit like maple trees and all the things that cause that, you know. So now it's one of the worst states because it's so dry out there. It's one of the worst states for people with allergies, but it used to be where people went. Well, people have planted these trees that attract these things. The problem is they destroy other trees, like massively. Like,
And they have no natural predators.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they tell you to kill them.
Oh,
You know, but they
I'm
were
the natural predator. I'm the predator.
they were all over the stage. It was like because the lights and stuff like that. They, you know,
wow, really?
I look at my feet, and you know, like they were like 4 or 5, like right in front of me. As long as they didn't land on me, I was okay.
Yeah, well, they're hard to kill too. Like they jump, like when when you go at them. So what they said is you need to spray vinegar on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's what they were doing in Jersey City because they don't want to put pesticides all over the streets because there's a million things. There's geese walking down the street. They stop traffic in Jersey City all the time, the geese. And yeah, they were shown on the news. They were just like spraying them with vinegar, and they were just bam, 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 falling them down off the walls. And they were on the light poles and the traffic lights and the signs and everything. So
we have these things down here called bufo toads. Cane toads, and they get to be pretty big, and they have glands on the side of their head, and they shoot poison out, and they can kill your dog. It's like,
oh my God,
it's nasty. Yeah, and I tell you what, you're supposed to. I mean, you're supposed to kill them because it's and they have no natural predators either. But it's. I mean, I'll kill it, but I don't like doing that. It's not, you know. And I have a big yard on one side of the house that's just perfect for them to migrate through the yard to where the water is down, you know, not far. So I see them all the time, and I hope that I can't catch them, but I catch them, and then, you know.
You know, though, that's, of course, idiotic people who don't have a clue that, like I said, take things from one place where they belong and put them in another place that they don't belong, which is why, like, in the Everglades, there's all these fucking anacondas that, you know, have eaten every small living, you know, there's no wild cats left, there's no rabbits left, there's, you know, everything's endangered because people took these snakes. And apparently, like, when they catch them and destroy them, they'll open them up and there's like, you know, 150 eggs in them. So they are just like multiplying faster than people can like clear them out of there. They'll never get rid of them now. So fuck the whole ecosystem.
No, it's crazy. And I heard, you know, we just started hearing the past couple of days about the bugs you're talking about. And they said, well, we're just going to introduce something that, you know, they're going to introduce something else to kill these things. Yeah. Oh, all right. So then what are those things going to do when all of the other things are dead?
Exactly. What are they going to go after?
Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. But, you know, man.
What was that movie with Mira Sorvino where they did something to stop a disease in children, and then it was like the cockroaches were 6 feet tall and had where they opened up and it looked like a man's face.
Oh my God, I don't know, but now I want to see it.
Yeah, right. Mira Sorvino?
Yeah, she's in it. Hold on, I'll find it.
All right.
Here we go.
You got it?
No, not yet.
He's working.
Come on, where is it?
Hey, I'll do with Mira Sorvino.
I like her.
I don't need to see the cockroaches.
Yeah, now that Paulie's not around.
Yeah,
right.
To kick your ass, Lenny.
Yeah, right.
What do you want I should do?
Paulie.
Hey, come in and partners with me, Paulie, please. Come on, this guy's crazy. I mean, you know, come in, you know. Hey, oh, okay.
hey, down in Philly, they would say that I look like Paul Sorvino.
Really?
Well, it's the ascot, bro. There's no question.
Yeah.
That's what sells it every time.
The movie
Yeah.
is called Mimic.
Oh, I've heard of that movie. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
of that.
It's like 3 years ago, entomologist Dr. Susan Tyler genetically created an insect to kill cockroaches carrying a virulent disease. Now the insects are out to destroy their only predator, mankind.
Oh my God.
You know what? That's
Yeah.
probably not that far from the truth.
Yeah, and it's
we
like-
cannot stop screwing with stuff.
Yeah, they're like 6 feet tall. It's thick. And they carry people, and you see them like their wings come out, and this thing opens up, and it looks like a man's face, right? And then they carry people away. It's as icky as it gets.
Sounds like Florida to me. You step on a bug down here, your foot moves.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They'll steal your shoes.
Yeah,
That's like when I was in St. Thomas. You know, they call the water bugs mahogany birds because they fly, right?
Oh.
But if you have a hard floor, which a lot of people do, you know, like a
Right.
or stone floor, you can hear them walking across the floor if it's quiet.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no.
Oh.
No. I'm not on board with that at all.
Nah, that's
What-
a deal breaker.
Lenny, you
Did I-
live in the tropics, you've seen them, you know.
Well, I've seen some big bugs and stuff, but did I mention the land crab last week?
No.
No.
Great tell.
My son was down visiting, right? And we come home from being out, and it's dark, and we're coming up our driveway. It's a real steep driveway, and all of a sudden it's like, what the hell is that? Right in the middle of the driveway is a land crab. I swear to God, it was this big.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Right? And it was the kind of a very light color, right? And my son's like, oh, I got to go check this out. So he gets out of the car, he gets in between the headlights because they're like, and this thing goes like, right? It puts its claws up and starts running towards him.
Oh.
Oh no.
So he had to jump on the hood of the car.
Get back in the car. Get back in the car.
It was so big and scary, and I had no
wow.
idea these things were walking
This
around.
thing would have been an extra point if it started running at me.
What is it with
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, right. Oh, I got to tell you, it was very scary looking. I mean,
bet.
really big claws.
Wow.
Wow. And what is? Can you eat that, or what is that?
I'm
never-
not
Yeah.
going to try. Can it eat
Yeah,
me?
It's what?
Can it eat me?
I don't know. No, I mean,
Are land crabs edible?
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
On Naked
I
and
think
Afraid,
so.
they eat them all the time.
Oh, yeah, there you go. It says, well, as of July 1st, it will be illegal to eat
while my
them
music
or
plays in the
collect
background.
them or do them.
Oh, they must taste really good because now they're endangered. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Somebody must
Well-
be eating them all.
If he shows up again, I'll get some video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And an
Oh yeah,
autograph.
that would be so cool.
See, you just should have you should just pulled out a stick of butter and a pot, and
Wedge
it
the
ran
lemon.
like hell the other way.
Yeah. How about a little boiling water? Land
Oh.
crab.
That's what they look like. Little
Oh,
land crab.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Put up the picture.
Yeah. Here, I'll get it for you.
Some of them are blue. Wow, this is a large. Look at that one. How big?
And crabs.
Land crab.
Yeah, you get them at clubs. Whoops.
Bermuda.
What? No.
Oh, no, that was Angela.
Okay, here we go. Here is the land crab assortment. Where am I? Here we go. And no, that's the wrong one. This is it.
Wow,
Okay, here
I've
you go.
never heard of such a
There's
thing.
the land crabs.
Look at that one. How big?
Can you see?
Oh, they're not that big.
Oh,
What do you have to compare them to, size-wise?
Yeah, let me.
I'm sure they're
pop
plenty
up.
big.
They look like they're this big.
Look at that guy. Look at the guy.
Look
in
at the one that dude's
Oh,
holding in
that's
his
good.
hand.
That's pretty big what he's holding. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the second from the right kind of looked like him.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I tell you what. I'm not playing in the game where he's an extra point.
Wow.
That's just not
Yeah.
It
for
has
me.
real eyeballs.
Ew.
That's freaky.
That is a horrible thing.
But yeah, that was a a new animal for me on the island.
Wow.
Yeah, they live in burrows.
That's
All right, wait a
insane.
minute. Look at the picture of the one that's climbing up the side of like a trash can.
Up the side of the trash.
Oh,
Trash.
that might be an even
Oh.
bigger crab. Don't you have coconut crabs in Florida?
Not
Not
anymore.
that we know of.
not that we. I've never coconut crabs. No,
Coconut crabs are gigantic.
we don't have those in Villa Pines, darling.
Oh,
Coconut. I never even heard of that.
You only have
Oh.
pedigreed ones.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I tell you what,
they're like the
Ours-
biggest crab, you know,
we
Wow.
have
body wise.
hot pink and purple dragonflies.
Oh, that sounds kind of cool, actually.
It
They are
is
cool.
very cool.
Yeah, that's very
Wow.
cool until one flies into your van or
Well,
SUV.
yeah, no, then no.
Yeah.
Yeah, tons of dragonflies down there. They're cool. They
Yeah.
really it's amazing that they don't bang into each other. Especially after the lawn gets cut and all the bugs start flying around. It's like party. And there's and all kinds of different ones. They're not all the same. There's these big ones, and then there's the little pink ones and the little purple ones, like Lori said. But then there's these ones that look like they have jet packs on us. They're black,
Yeah.
and they look like it's amazing. The the diversity of bugs in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Those are robots.
Oh, cool.
Probably
Yeah.
I have
tiny
one.
little drones.
Yes.
No, who ever thought of such a thing? What?
It wasn't in your
Professional
house, though, right?
child.
It was in your garage, in your driveway, Lenny.
No, it was in his house.
Oh, me?
Yeah, the land crab.
No, yeah, it was in his driveway.
Yeah, it was right there in the middle of the driveway. We had to wait till he kind of passed by into the jungle to go home.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get out and chase him.
How close
He
to
was-
the jungle are you, Lenny?
Well, it's not a jungle. They call it the rainforest.
Mhm.
So it's basically very, very green. Like
Can you
about
go in there?
40 feet out my back door, it just turns into tropical forest.
How long is the rain season?
What's kind of here now, it's about 2 months or so.
It isn't horrible.
No,
It's
the
2 months
rainy
long, or
season.
you're 2 months in.
No, it's about 2 months long. But the thing is that Antigua is a very dry country. So when the rainy season comes, it's a great thing
Yeah.
because otherwise the place just dries up. So it's great when it rains. It gets beautiful.
I remember being in St. Thomas and watching, because during that rainy season, because they have a short one, and you can see like sometime during a day, like you can watch the rain come in.
That's so cool. I love when you
Yeah,
see
you
like
can
a
watch-
curtain of it
yeah.
coming across. Yeah, that's so cool.
We just did that the other day. We were heading down on Winkler, remember? And I said, "Is it raining up there?" And she said, "Yes, it is." And then you hear, that is great. I mean, I love weather. I think as long as it doesn't kill me.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating. What?
That's a coconut crab. We don't have them
Oh
here.
yeah, we don't have those, Lanny. Just let me show the children at home this frickin' thing.
It's the largest crab in the world.
I don't know where they're from, though. I don't think.
It
I don't
says in
think-
Florida.
No, it's
It right here. It says coconut crabs in Florida, in Guam.
It's
remote-
they're found across the
All right, let me just.
Indo-Pacific from the islands of the coast of
Holy
Africa near
Christmas!
Zanzibar.
Look at this shit, guys.
Yeah, let's see it.
I've never seen it.
Oh Lord.
Oh, stop.
Let me get you the main view here. Let me get you the.
Imagine seeing
How
that
do
in your
I do-
driveway.
Oh, here we go. I do it this way, right?
Yeah, blow it up. Blow it
There
up.
you go. Look at that, huh?
If I saw that in my driveway, I'd actually probably move.
I
I
know.
would just
Yeah,
throw the for
yeah.
sale sign up on the lawn and get the hell out of there.
That's a horrifying thing.
Yeah, it is.
Whose idea was that?
I don't know.
Who
Some
knows?
prankster.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so now what? All right, back to this.
Yeah.
Any other creatures you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, what else do you have, Lenny?
Yeah, what else you got?
I don't know. Like I said before, there. Okay, those crabs are scary. but there's not any animals that'll hurt you, except for maybe a big centipede.
Oh, that's all. You know what?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Board of Tourism in
Will
Antigua
hurt
are
you?
probably
Wait a
like,
minute.
get this guy to shut up.
Scorpion on your porch?
Yeah, scorpion.
Occasionally.
Those won't hurt.
No, but they're not dangerous. They're not poisonous. And if you get bit by one, it's like a bee sting.
Okay.
And you don't see them that often.
And when you go to the beach, in the water, there's not really sharks, but you do have barracuda, right?
Well, they're out there, and the sharks, I guess, are out past the reef. But when my son was here, he'd go, "Oh, you shouldn't go swimming out into the ocean. There's sharks." And I'm like, "They're only biting people on the East Coast."
Yeah.
I know. There's
One a
more
day,
sharks.
pretty
There's
much.
more sharks up here than there
Yeah.
are.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
that's where the
here.
sharks are, the big ones.
Yeah.
Mhm. Remember, the largest shark was caught off the end of Long Island.
Yeah,
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
yeah. By
And that
the Monster Man.
Jaws was not Martha's Vineyard. Jaws was Fire Island.
And it was
Fire Island?
Frank Mundus.
Yes, it's Fire Island.
Yeah. Like off of
Frank
Montauk,
Mundus
right?
was the captain that caught that Quint was
Yeah.
designed after. It was Frank Mundus was the monster man from Montauk, and he would go out and get those,
Wow.
So yeah, that's a good. Listen, yeah. So what are you doing on Sunday? Well,
Not going swimming.
not going,
Right.
got a pool for that. Thank you.
I tell you, when I saw Jaws, I swam in pools for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie messed it up for everybody.
Everybody. That's what he said. Just when you thought it was safe to go back, and then here comes like the next Jaws. But honestly, up here, it's like, I'm telling you, at one point a few weeks ago, it was like one a day. You'd
Yeah.
hear,
Wow.
oh, lifeguard got his leg bit, kid got his thumb bit. I mean, nobody fortunately died, but
Yeah, these
again,
aren't. But these sharks are they're little sharks,
yeah.
just over 10 feet, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
But the
If I
thing
see
is,
something 10
it's
feet
their
coming-
house.
Yeah.
It's their house. So don't get in it and bitch about it. But you
Exactly.
understand, they're not going to go, oh, well, the people are here now, so I guess we should just stay away. They're
Well,
used to what they're
we have
used
to do a thing down here called the Sanibel Shuffle. When you walk into the Gulf, you have to shuffle your feet. You can't walk because if you step on a stingray, they whack you with that thing.
Yeah, and that happened to me.
And it happened to Lori,
It
and
was
she
the
said,
worst
"I think
thing.
something bit me." And then oops, there it goes.
As soon as you take it out of the water.
Yeah, it's like as soon as and she was like, "Oh!" I called up Larry, my go-to doctor buddy,
The ER
bass player.
Yeah.
I said, "Larry, Lori got bit by like a stingray or
was
something."
bleeding? It was trickling blood?
Yeah, little blood dripping out of it because they have a barb on the end of that tail.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
step on them, they don't like that. So he said, "Well,
Keep it
tell her
in.
to put her foot in hot water, as hot as she can stand it."
Yeah.
And I said,
What
"Are
am I
you
supposed to do? We have
are
to
you kidding
drive
me?
home."
We're on Sanibel Island, bro. Where should we?" So luckily, what did we have? We had something in the
A little
car.
ice chest.
We had a little ice chest, and we stopped at a gas station and went in the
Filled it
bathroom,
up.
filled it up with as hot water as we could
And
get.
then when it got lukewarm, it started killing me again. We had to pull over to another one. And Larry said, "Yeah, I had a
He said,
football
yeah.
player come in the ER, and he was crying, saying he never felt pain like that.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
It hurt, man. So I had to lay in the bed with my foot off the bed, and Steve kept bringing buckets of hot water. As soon as it would turn lukewarm, I'd be like, "Ow, ow, ow!" And he'd swap
Crazy.
out for a hot one. And that happened for a couple hours, and then it went away.
Yeah, but that's
Oh, right. This Steve Campo said that's what killed Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
that was
But that
the
pierced
hot
his
water wasn't
chest.
fixing that.
Yeah, Pierce.
Yeah.
It pierced his chest,
That's a
like
little
in his
different, yeah.
aorta. It went just
Yeah.
this weird space between like his rib bone and his sternum, and pierced his heart, so that he basically bled out like instantly. I mean,
Yeah.
within 45 seconds, it was like somebody stabbing
Wow.
someone in the heart. It
Wow.
was like such a freak accident.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I was in the water with all those stingrays like 6 months ago.
yeah, but
Why,
they were
Lenny?
perch in the water because they
Yeah, but you weren't,
go away
you weren't
from you.
stepping on them. That's the difference.
No, we were feeding them.
Oh,
Right, we saw that. You showed us that, I think.
Yeah, that picture with that big old stingray.
Oh, there's times when they migrate right down the Gulf, and you could just watch hundreds of them
Yeah.
going by like in a parade. It's amazing. They're beautiful to watch. Not so much fun to step
Remember
on.
when we went
No.
in Alabama
Yeah.
swimming in the Gulf, and all of a sudden 2 stingrays, you see them on this wave, big giant ones
Like
coming like
the
right
big
into the
kind.
shore. It was like, uh-oh. And then something hit Steve, and he said it felt like he was hit with some kind
With
of
like a cattle prod. And I looked, and something's going away like this, and but I mean, I was sitting in water. The water was so, I couldn't have been more than 1.5 feet deep, right? So I'm just sitting in the water, watching the dog and watching Lori, and all of a sudden I feel bang right in the small of my back, and it felt like somebody hit me with like a stun gun, and it was the most shocking thing. I have no idea what it was. I saw.
Was it an eel? You don't know.
I have no idea.
We were the only people on the beach.
Yeah, and I.
It was my birthday, October 6th.
That's right.
Yeah. And
Was it electrical or it just hit
felt
you that hard?
electrical, but I don't know if that's actually what it was. I mean, it felt like it felt like a shock.
it was bad enough he didn't want to go back in the water.
But I saw
Steve,
it swim away.
Steve, I hate to tell you this, but that was Lori. She hit you
Well,
With a stun gun.
I
with a
just,
stun gun.
right. Yeah. Well, listen.
Don't tase me, bro.
Really. Don't tase me.
This is where Joe Castelli would come in and say, well, that's amore.
Oh, I get it.
Me too.
Wow.
I'm bummed. Wow. Yeah, I wonder where the regulars are tonight.
Don't know. We got 3 of them here.
Of course we do, but we have the cream of the crop.
That's right.
This is
But,
pretty much true.
yeah, old Angus, he's been having problems with his back.
He's got sciatica now.
Yeah, what is
Yeah.
sciatica?
It's a nerve that runs
Yeah.
all the way down one side
Yeah.
of your body through
Yeah.
like really it comes from your spinal cord. And it goes literally down the entire side of your body through your hip area.
Both sides or only
Down
one?
your leg.
Well, you have one on each side, but generally, thankfully, I guess for people, it's usually one side or the other that gets inflamed and it gets, but I will tell you, it is pain it's like your entire body has a toothache. That just keeps like, it won't go away. You can't get comfortable. You can't medicate it. It's, you put
Can't
ice on
medicate
it.
it?
Not really. It's the biggest nerve in your body.
So,
Yeah.
Steve, if you had that, you would not be able to play for a while.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah, it's basically like a pinched nerve, but like I said, it's the biggest nerve in your body that runs. all
I'm
the
not
way
sure.
down.
I'm not sure what he's doing about it. We were talking about it the other day.
Yeah, I think
I don't know
he's
what-
letting it heal. I don't think there is anything you
Will
can
it
do
just
about
go away?
It
it. Does
depends.
it go away or
It
I think-
depends.
Like mild inflammation, but the mild inflammation what it does is it like makes the toes numb in one of my feet, and it's weird.
That's weird.
And it hurts, it hurts right through your hip, but you know when it's happening because the toes go numb.
Wow.
And then it'll clear up out of nowhere and
it just
happen
stops?
It'll clear up out of nowhere. But I'm saying I have a very mild.
Yeah.
So it's not like other people get because I don't have to stop anything.
Wow.
And mine is brought on by years of heavy weight training.
So who knows about Thundercat?
Thunder.
Oh, I love
Great
Thundercat.
Great bass player.
My
Great bass
son,
player, and his
my son
voice.
went out to Jones Beach to see Chili Peppers,
And
Yeah.
Thundercat opened.
some
Yeah.
other band, and Thundercat opened. And he said Thundercat was better than anybody.
He's amazing.
Thundercat he has frightening technique. I saw him at the NAMM show. I went over to talk to Mike Tobias, and he was playing one of Mike's basses, and I was like, who the hell is that? And
Yeah,
So what else? He
there's-
plays
there's-
those not a solid body bass, like
no, it's a Gibson. It's a Ibanez bass that they make specially for him, but it's like it looks like a jazz box, except it's a 6-string bass.
Wow.
right.
Yeah, and
He's a big fan.
He plays a whole lot of notes.
Yeah. He
And
does,
he's
but he
a
plays
great
them well.
vocalist,
He's not just, you know, a shredder kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's thoughtful what he does. And he has this really high he was on Saturday Night Live one time, I think.
Mhm.
Probably.
That makes
I think he's pretty famous.
It's a
Yeah,
guy-
no, he is. And I kind of, you know, it's funny, you brought him up. I kind of forgot about him because when he was, I'm gonna say like 3 or 4 years ago, I was like, oh bro, this dude is gonna blow up. He's just like, you know, gonna
His-
be the guy.
His brother is a drummer who plays with Stanley Clark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and his Thundercat's real name is Steven Bruner.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well,
my son said he had
And how I heard of him initially is through Mike Tobias. Mike Tobias said, "I just made a bass for this kid. You got to hear him."
Have you seen? Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find this. There is a freak bass player.
white guy.
Yeah, playing green strings or whatever. I gotta find this guy. There's Thunder.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
The guy with the neon strings. Look at
You
this.
mean Mono Neon?
Who is it?
There's a kid named Mono Neon who plays bass upside down and backwards,
No, this is Charles
No.
Berthold.
and Mono Neon is frightening.
Well, this
Good
kid
players
is pretty
out there.
nimble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
They're all like 15 years old, these kids now. It's amazing.
No, there's one with it's a 7-year-old kid, and he like makes
My husband does the same thing. He tortures himself all day long with a bunch of kids, like playing, you know, Rachmaninoff on the piano and stuff, you know, and he'll be like, oh God, look at this kid. What's the kid from Italy? What's his name? The guitar player that everybody like loves, this guy. And I can't remember, Enrico? No, I forget what it is, but he's like ridiculous. And I said, stop watching that. Okay?
But this guy's like, have you ever listened to any of Jacob Collier's stuff?
Oh, I go to see him all the time. He's ridiculous.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he's a like, I'm listening to him. I'm like going, who's playing bass with him? And
Right? It's him. He loops
It's
everything.
him.
He plays every instrument and like layers his vocals, and he has this like, yeah, we
His
listen to him
version
all
of
the
Moon
time.
River is really unbelievable.
Wait, what about his version? Have you ever heard his versions of the Flintstones theme?
No, I haven't heard that.
OMG, it's
Look it up. Okay.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He's so good. Yeah, that's why I said there's so many great young players out there that have taken things to a different level. And there's so many, honestly, female musicians that are
Mhm.
actual musicians, not just the girl, not that I'm, you know, like belittling it, not just the girl who stands up in front of the microphone and is, you know, the vocalist, but
No,
there's so many
I
great.
follow a bunch of female bassists on Instagram, and it's not because of the way they look.
Yeah.
Just
Do you know the girl, what's her name? Godchow. It's Keith and Donna Godchow he was the keyboard player and she was a singer in the Grateful Dead. Their daughter is like a monster. She plays with Jeff Beck and a bunch of people along with
Not
Tal
Tal
Wilkins.
Wilkenfeld.
Yeah.
Tal-
Tal does too. And it's
One
just
of,
like
one of the
incredible.
one of the first bass days, they used to have them in New York before they started having them in LA. And she was over in one of the booths playing, right? And it was because she was playing through EBS amps at the time. I was in EBS in Dorsey, and all of us were like, going, "Who is this girl?"
Yeah.
And she was really young and she looked really innocent, but when she played bass, it was ferocious.
She was a monster. Yeah. And there's a bunch of female drummers right now too that are just like really taking over. And honestly, I remember the first time, and I'm sure you remember these people, the Stanton Anderson band.
Yeah.
Okay. Linda Stanton was like this little girl and she was a killer player. And everybody was like, they were just, I mean, she could have even sucked, but they were just like the fact that a girl was behind a drum kit was blowing people's minds. And the fact that she was really good. She had power. She was so small. Her foot was like, bam. She really kicked it.
That's another thing. Like, have you ever seen any of the old film where Karen Carpenter is just playing drum?
Sure.
Yeah, she could play.
Yeah,
She could play.
She could
And-
really
she would give lessons to people. She would only take advanced students. Like she was that good of a drummer. You know, you just thought of her as being this girl in her little granny dress with the ruffles and that voice that I would literally probably give a year of my life to have her in a studio, because her voice was just like magic.
Yeah.
Magic. I mean,
But let me tell you,
flawless.
I only take advanced students, and that's because I have no patience. And the first
Yeah,
thing
right.
the first thing I tell them is, I'm going to yell at you.
Yeah.
And I said,
Oh, I don't even want to think
I
about
said,
teaching.
I'm big, and I said, I'm going to yell at you. I said, don't be.
Now, those were some of the
Be
longest
prepared.
hours of my existence teaching.
That probably wouldn't fly now with the millennials who get a trophy. Everybody gets a trophy. Nobody.
I got a trophy right here.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
got one for the other side of your shelf too.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, and you know, Joe Morello, that was his love of life, was to teach till the day he died. He gave lessons, and
Yeah, if you're teaching somebody that likes to learn.
well,
that's
and he
the
loved
point.
doing it. But you know, people would say to me, they'd be like, I don't know if I'm like, he wouldn't yell at people, but what he would do is just like not give them anything more. So if you're in the same book for like 6 months, you know, you're not going anywhere. And then he'd probably say to them, you know, maybe this isn't for you or whatever. But people would say to me, I don't know if like he likes what I do or not. And I said, well, does he? I said, is he giving you? They're like, oh my God, he's giving me so much stuff. And I'm like, then he thinks you're good. He thinks you have potential.
Good.
But
Yeah, when he stops sharing his gift with you, then you know.
Exactly.
Did you ever teach, Lenny? Music.
Nope. No, how can I teach music? I don't read. I'm seat of the pants.
I didn't read initially either, and I was still a teenager, and somebody asked me to give them lessons, and I said I don't know how to give you lessons, and they said, well, just show me what you do, and I said, okay, you want me to come to your house and show you what I do, and you're going to give me money? Yeah, okay. Well, here's what I do, but I got into it. I mean, I wrote a book. I did the whole, when I decided to get serious about the educational part of it, and I went and studied with a jazz teacher to read, for notation, for so that I could have that skill set.
Al Miller.
And wrote a book, and it's still out there dribbling around on who publishes the book? It's not Mel Bay. It's the big
Leonard.
Oh yeah, Hal Leonard.
Oh, Hal Leonard.
It's in their
All right.
catalog. Been for years, so.
I started reading kind of on a dare. So it's like,
You can't do that.
You're not good until you learn how to read music. Oh, really? So then I'm going to learn how to read music,
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, these days, it's one of the things that come in the most handy.
I'll
Because
bet.
if you throw it in front of me, it's going to get played.
Good.
I'll tell you a little reading music story. Go through this kind of quickly. 7th grade, I discovered that my junior high school has something called percussion ensemble. I gotta be in that. I want to be in that, whatever it is. And so you would go there, and there would be like 6 guys, 5 or 6 of us, all in a line, and there were all snare drums. Everybody had a snare drum and their sticks and their music stand, and everybody would play their part. So, and I remember the first guy in line was always this guy, Danny Sofer, who he would go home and he would just learn everything and just piss everybody off, right? So Danny would go first, and then it would come down to me, and I'd just rip the thing off because I was listening to it, right? And he thought, the teacher was all proud. Oh, Steve, great, you're doing your work. And I'm not doing any work. I'm just listening to what the other 4 guys played, and then I'm playing that. Does it really matter? As long as I'm playing it, if you're liking it. So after a couple of weeks of getting away with this, he says, come here, Steve, come on up into the front of the line. And I'm like a stuttering idiot. And I got told I should give up drums, that I would never become a musician. I didn't have what it takes to be a professional musician.
But that's that joke that says, how do you make a guitar player turn down? Put
a chart in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to the musician jokes, are we?
No.
No, it's
But Jeff Berlin, the bass player Jeff Berlin, he's been on the internet a lot lately, telling
Well, he
all the
believes
bass
he has
everybody telling everybody that you got to learn to read.
Well, he has this thing. He has this theory that if your teacher is not doing it as an academic approach, if he's not teaching you to read, if he's not teaching you theory, then he's doing you a disservice. Because there's guys like Victor Wooten, who is a freak of nature, but Victor teaches differently. Victor says, "Did anybody teach you how to walk or talk, or did you just start doing it?"
You see,
And
that's
he's right. He's right.
Man, that's what I said. And when I decided to try to teach for the little bit of time that I did it, can you imagine if as a child you had to learn to read and write every word you learned to say?
Yeah.
And that's kind of his approach, is that it has to be that way. And I'm never one to say that there's one approach to anything.
There is not one approach.
No, everybody has a different learning
From
style.
somebody who does believe in an academic approach to learning. But I don't believe that everybody learns the same way.
No, and everybody isn't cut out to learn that way. Some people need to invent it for themselves and then fill in the blanks later. That's the way it was for me.
Like my grandson plays keyboards, and one of them is yelling now. But
Get him off the bridge.
yeah. So we took him for lessons for like a year, right? And he learned how to read some. He was much younger than he is. He's 12 now, but he was considerably younger than he is now. And he learned what he could, right? But he always wanted, when he get into his lessons, he would play what he wanted to play, not what they wanted him to play.
Yeah.
And he's still the same now. He has great ears. And the only person, he won't play in front of me unless I have to sneak up on it. And when I sneak on, I said, "Is that new?" And he goes, "Yes." And what he really likes to do is all the music in the games.
Oh,
He picks all those things out.
Yeah.
He picks all those things out.
It's like we learned about classical music by watching Bugs Bunny cartoons.
That's right.
Or Fantasia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But Bugs Bunny cartoons, those are great.
Oh my God, I still watch them.
Well, yeah, but Fantasia, I remember it was playing in White Plains, and it was one of those things where if you didn't leave the theater, you could keep watching the movie.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, $1.50, a popcorn, and a tab of acid, and
you're good to go. Yep. Did it with the Muller brothers. That's when we all went together.
And every time we see it, we think it's the first time. It's wow. How long have we been in here?
So guys, I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta bail myself, kids. Thank you all for being here.
Everybody.
I hope.
Land grab.
Booker and Lenny.
Oh, Booker and Lenny. Roger Peterson says hello.
Oh man. When
you.
is Roger coming on?
No, he's in the room watching.
No, he's in the room watching.
Yeah, he should come on. He was a member of the Trent.
Oh,
wait.
On the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to come on the show, Roger.
Yeah. Come on the show, Roger.
That's right, Roger. All right, Booker, you playing down at Arthur's Tavern?
I'm at Arthur's Tavern tonight. Yes, I am.
And whose tavern are you at, Lenny?
Lenny's.
Yeah, I'm at my own tavern. Would you please give my information to Mousy so she can get in touch with me,
So
and
I
then
can
we'll
stalk
do
him.
the thing. Yeah. Yeah, he can stalk me.
Sounds good. I went into the old school broadcast van. I thought, it was appropriate.
Yeah.
Nice.
And listen, love you guys. Enjoy the weekend.
Yes.
Have
Love
fun.
you. Children of the
All right,
Lawn.
then.
Oh my God, how much are we loving Only Murders?
Oh, goodness,
yes.
great.
So good this season.
My wife is watching.
You know what? I think we should close. I think we should close with a little artistic impression from my wife. Would you please do your Selena Gomez?
Oh my God. Okay. I was talking like this because you can't really understand anything that she says, and she doesn't open her mouth up at all, so I have to put the closed captioning on to hear her.
Very good.
She's very soft spoken.
My wife says, there's something wrong with her. Her jaw doesn't move correctly.
Yeah, yeah. She kind of like barely opens her mouth when she's
And,
Yeah.
and of course, she's the one who has to be with the
Deaf guy.
deaf guy who has
Yeah.
to read her lips.
Okay. I'll
Take
see you.
care,
We're
Booker.
all out
Bye,
here. I love
everybody.
you
Love
guys.
you
Have a
all.
great weekend.
Good night, Lori.
See you,
Bye.
kids.
See you
Bye-bye,
next
Lenny.
week.
Bye, Mousy.
Bye-bye. Bye, Steve. Bye, Mousy. Bye, everybody.
You gotta love the man. It's Friday night.
That's right.
It's
oh,
Friday
Jeff
night.
says, hey guys, couldn't get on due to stomach issues.
Oh,
feel better, Jeff.
Yeah, feel better, bro. A little
Yep.
Pepto, some Alka-Seltzer, and
bed rest near a toilet.
yeah. Well, feel better, bro.
Yes.
And Angus, you feel better too.
Yeah, with your
you know,
sciatica.
hope you're doing okay. His new name is Sciatica. It'll be in the credit roll.
That's right.
And it's the weekend. BattleBots, racing,
And Monday will
Murders.
be Rat Race Choir Monday.
Rat Race Choir Monday. So, Ed Hamer, if you're not watching.
He's not.
Okay, you
Neither
guys.
is Mark Visconti.
Uh-oh. Well,
Okay, well, if I don't see you in the future,
I will see you. I'm doing my Selena Gomez.
Yeah, I'll do
If
my
I
Selena
don't see you in the
Gomez
future,
too.
I'll see you in the pasture.
good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.